It's the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by WJER Sports in partnership with Smartway Communications, Sugar Valley Meats, and Williams Floorcovering.
And I want to welcome you into week number 5 of high school football today. And it is the Coach's Corner Show coming to you from WJER Radio. Willie Grove along with Coach Dan Ifft of the Dover Tornadoes. And Coach, 2-2 on the season. Would you say that last Friday was a complete game for the Tornadoes?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the opponent was a little limited. Let's say, I mean, they work hard and all that, but don't enjoy some of the opportunities that we get with practice and things of that nature. I think they had to cancel a couple of days of practice because of heat. I mean, they got the plug pulled by their administration. So, they're not exactly the first 3 opponents we played, but nonetheless, those kids work hard, and it's just. So I don't know about complete, but we do what we had to do when we had to do it. How's that?
Now, that's a good point. But I saw a lot of sophomores.
Yeah.
On my lineup for Taylor Alderdice.
Right.
Couple years. That's a team that's, the quarterback, a running back, some wide receivers. They're tough.
Yeah, they had 2 defensive ends were probably as good as any. 33 was really good. The sophomore, about 6'4", 215. Gave us quite a challenge over there. Made us better in that regard. And the kid on the other side was really fast and really aggressive. That standpoint. So he did say they had a lot of young kids. From that standpoint, does a wonderful job. Jerry Haslett. His brother's Jim Haslett from the NFL.
Yep.
And he does a wonderful job, and he's been there 17 years coaching the Pittsburgh area for over 30, so he's kind of a legend there.
Now, when you look at offensively, and again, pretty good game. You had 7 different individuals, I believe, able to catch or run the ball in. Nobody had 2 touchdowns as an individual, so you spread the ball around a little.
Well, and it's good for the program. You don't want many of those games, but why it's good for a program if you come off of 3 difficult games and going into a 4th here, or 5th here, I guess, week 5. It's good for the other kids to get involved. We didn't have a JV game Saturday. Most of those kids played the whole second half. They got some good exposure on the field. It's kind of nice for them in that regard to play on Friday nights, and they did some good things. So we do have a lot of good young kids coming. When we subbed our whole lineup, most of them were all sophomores. There's probably 90% of them. So that from that standpoint, it was a good program game.
So this Friday we've got Steubenville Big Red, Reno Sakosh, Dan Ifft. Sometimes I wished I was right down in the middle of that before the game. The conversation between 2 coaches have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, he's talking about recipes and things of that nature. He's become a friend.
Yes.
He's people don't understand him a lot. He does a lot of good for a lot of people, and he's an extreme competitor, and that's what people see and those types of things. So you shouldn't judge him on that at all. But you get to know the man. I mean, he's a pretty. He's a good father, husband, grandfather. We talk about grandchildren most of the time. So he happens to be the best friend of my son-in-law's dad, Dave Bruni. So we usually swap stories about Dave and things of that nature. So that it's not really football related, so to speak. He keeps his cards under his hat, and so do I.
Well, and what do you got to look forward to with the Big Red? Anything you're concerned about?
Everything. I mean, they people see their speed, they see their athletes and things of that nature, but what you really got to pay attention to, what they're really good at, their offensive line is really good. They've been good for a long time. And the offensive line coach, I know his son JoJo is one of the offensive line coaches, but they are really well structured, well coached. They come out and they get you in a hurry. So we really have to work hard on that quickness up front, that speed, that aggression, things of that nature, which you don't see off a lot of high school kids. You'll see some of it, but the sustained blocking is what you don't see. So big concern for me, from my standpoint, we've got to deal with controlling that offensive line. Like I said, controlling it, meaning we're not getting blown off the line. We're not gaping holes, things of that nature, because their backs can find it. So they do a marvelous job on the offensive line. And defensively, it's going to be a lot of stemming, stunning, things of that nature. Their attitude is, we're going to make one of your kids make a mistake. And when we do, we're going to get a big play off of it. So a lot of work on the front this week.
Coach Dan Ifft of the Dover Tornadoes. Coach, good luck this week. Let's get above 500.
Absolutely. Be the first time we can do that, obviously. But no, we look forward to the challenge. It's a great opportunity, and it's a great game for high school football. Should be a packed house here at the Brick House.
Absolutely.
And, at the end of the day, you can say I played in front of a lot of packed houses. That's an awesome thing for a kid to go through.
Yep. And that'll be it for Coach's Corner this week.
This has been the Coach's Corner Show for WJER Sports, brought to you by Smartway Communications, Sugar Valley Meats, and Williams Floorcovering.